The next factoring technique that I want to remind you of is factoring by grouping. So we use factoring by grouping when we have 4 or more terms. Factoring by grouping, actually, honestly, it doesn't work very often. It's only for like special types of problem. So when you have a polynomial that has like 4 or 6 or 8 terms, it'll work for that. And what you're going to do is you're just going to put it into 2 groups. So I'm going to put those 3 in a group and those 3 in a group. Now I'm going to look at this first group and see what I can factor out. And it looks like I can factor out a 4 and an x. And that's going to leave me with 2a plus b plus c. Now we're going to go to the second group and see what we can factor out of that. It looks like we can factor out a 3y. And that will leave me with 2a plus b plus c. Now, factoring by grouping only works if these two things are the same, which they are. So now we're going to factor that out, 2a plus b plus c. And then your other factor is what's left over, 4x plus 3y. All right, let's try number 14. I'm going to switch colors here so we don't get confused. So we're going to group this, put those 3 together. We're going to put these 3 together. That negative sign needs to stay with the 5. So out of the first group, let's see, I can factor out a 6 and an x. And that leaves me with 5a minus 4b plus c. In the next group, looks like I can factor out a y squared, maybe a negative y squared. So if I factor out a negative y squared, that's going to leave me with positive 5a, negative 4b, and a positive c. All right, and remember, factoring by grouping only works if these two things are the same, which they are. So one of our factors is 5a minus 4b plus c. And the other factor is what's left over, 6x minus y squared. So that is factoring by grouping.